In this lesson, we're going to review how to create a sales funnel chart. A sales funnel chart is a common chart to illustrate the sales pipeline and its conversion metrics from its initial lead stage to the closed won stage. Let's take a look at what the sales funnel chart looks like in its final form. So if I scroll down to the bottom of this worksheet, I can see the sales funnel that I created for the sales funnel performance for a particular month. In this case, it was for November of 2020, and it shows several different stages of the marketing and sales pipeline funnel, from web leads to marketing qualified leads, and then to sales qualified leads, demos, negotiation stage, and the closed won stage. These are just 6 examples of marketing and sales funnel stages, but of course your company or the example that you're trying to create or the use case that you're trying to create could be different. Each stage typically has a sales funnel conversion rate. So for instance, we can see the sales funnel shrinking from the amount of leads which exist in the top part of the funnel, and it shrinks by the time it gets to the end of the funnel, i.e. closed won. So that just shows the natural progression of leads as they come in through the funnel and how some of them get funneled out as closed lost or qualified out as not being relevant throughout the stages. So for instance, in this case, we're showing that there were a total of 30,000 web leads, and of those 30,000 web leads, only 18,000 were determined to be marketing qualified leads, i.e. some of those web leads did not meet specific criteria to qualify as being marketing qualified. There could be criteria that the company sets to make this determination, like whether or not the individual who visited the web page browsed certain areas of the website, for instance, the pricing page, or depending on what information they filled out in the web form, i.e. what geography they're located in, how much revenue their company has, etc. Next, there's a sales qualified lead, and that might be a stage where the sales team has a discussion with the prospect to determine whether or not it's a good prospect. So they would ask questions over the phone to see whether or not there's a good fit with the prospect and the use of its technology. And if there is, the sales team would qualify it and say yes. Otherwise, they would qualify it out and say no, it's not a good fit. So of the 18,000 that were put its way, only 11,000 were determined to be sales qualified leads. Of the sales qualified leads, ultimately the sales team wants to close them out, but the first step to do so is to show a demonstration of the platform and the technology. And in this case, we can see only 6,500 of the sales qualified leads made its way to the demo stage. From demo stage, only 4,000 made its way to negotiation stage to buy the software or hardware. And in the end, only 2,000 prospects ended up signing on and becoming customers. And so we consider that to be closed won. So this is an example sales funnel showing the performance of leads and how they track throughout the funnel. We could apply percentages here as well, but in this instance, we just showed whole numbers, and it gives us a good idea of how many leads are stuck in each stage and how many ultimately make its way through the funnel and what the bottlenecks are. So this is something that's typically created and then updated on a weekly or monthly basis. So let's go through and figure out how we're going to create this from scratch. So in our example, a financial analyst has the sales opportunity data for the month of November 2020 in the below raw data table. The financial analyst would like to represent the sales funnel information in a sales funnel chart for the upcoming sales meeting. So the raw data is shown in cells C15 through D21. We've got the stages and the opportunities which are in each stage. So in order to start creating the sales funnel performance chart, the first thing that we need to do is insert a column between stage and opportunities called space. And the space is really going to represent the space between the sales stage and the quantity in order to get the sales funnel shape on the chart. So we actually make this equal to an equation, and the equation is going to be equal to the quantity before it and the minus the quantity in the current stage divided by 2. So for instance, it would be for the marketing qualified leads, the space is going to be equal to the 30,000 for web leads minus the 18,000 for the marketing qualified leads, and then we divide it by 2. In the sales qualified leads row, we're going to make it equal to the web leads minus the sales qualified leads divided by 2. So we're always referencing the top of the funnel. And again, the reason why we're doing that is to create the shape of the sales funnel. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to select the entire data table. So the data table that exists within rows 29 through 35. And we're going to insert a stacked bar chart. So the way to do that is go to the Insert tab in the top ribbon, click on the bar label, and then we're going to choose Stacked Bar Chart. When we do that, we can see the stacked bar chart appear. I'm going to drag it down a bit, and you can see what I just created is identical to what we see on the left side. The only difference is I gave it a name. So I could easily rename the title of the stacked bar chart to call it Sales Funnel Performance November 2020. All I need to do in order to make that happen is double click on the chart title and then start typing in a new chart title. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this because we've already got another bar chart on the left. The next step is to select the categories on the left side, and then on the right navigation pane for format axes, we can convert these into reverse order. Because in the previous instance, it showed closed 1 to web leads. I'm going to undo what I deleted before. And as I can see, it shows closed 1 all the way through to web leads, but that's backwards. What we really want to show is web leads at the top and then closed 1 to be at the bottom of the funnel. So in order to make that happen, the only thing that you need to do is to click on the stages, and then on the right side, just check on this categories in reverse order box. When you do that, the web leads will appear at the top and the closed 1 will appear at the bottom. Step number 4 is to remove the space that exists on the left side of the bar chart. So all of these blue bars, we don't need them in our sales funnel, so I want to delete them. So we're just going to select the blue space and we're going to change the color of it to no fill. So if we just double click on the blue bars, we can go to the bucket in the format data series, and then we can click on no fill, and that's just going to remove the blue bars. As you can see in section 4 here, we don't have the blue bars anymore. In step 5, we want to fix the gap width. So as you can see in step 4, we've got a lot of white space between the sales funnel stages, and the way in which we can get rid of that and reduce the gaps is by reducing the gap width. And the only thing that we need to do for that is to click on the bars themselves, go to the bar chart indicator on the right side here, and then reduce the gap width. Right now it's at 150%, but you can actually reduce that as much as you want. And in step 5, we reduce that to 20%. So now we've got a clean looking sales funnel performance. It's in the order that we want it to be from web leads to close 1. We got rid of the blue part of the bar chart. We improved the gap width. And the next stage is to create the shapes that we want and the colors that we want. So we can make, copy and paste 4 corner flowchart shapes of different colors and a reverse triangle flowchart shape in the last data series. You can customize the look by adding the data label to the sections below. As you can see in the steps above, we didn't have any data labels on each of the bars, but in the step 6, we have some labels that exist over each of the bars, and it just represents the quantity within each stage. So you could really customize it. We just created it as white text and put the quantity within each of the stages. So web leads 30,000, and then negotiation 4,000. We also can remove the grid lines behind the bar chart. You just need to select the grid lines and then delete them by clicking delete. And you can remove the legend at the bottom just by clicking the legend and then deleting the legend. I'm going to undo that, but you get the idea. So the way that you get these shapes to appear within the data chart is You just need to go to the Insert button in the top ribbon, click on Shapes, go down to Flowchart, and then you can see some different shapes that appear. The ones that we used in this example were the manual operation shape. We also used the Merge flowchart. And when you click on those, you can then just create them on screen. So I did that on the right-hand side. As you can see over here beside the chart, we've got a bunch of different shapes. Then I just filled them with different colors. So you can click on one, you can give it a different color fill. So for instance, if I click on the bucket, I can choose a different color to fill with inside of it. And I did that for each individual shape so that it shows a different representation depending on the stage it's in the funnel. And then all you do is you click on one of them, you copy it by hitting Control-C, and then you click on the part of the funnel that you want to change that shape, and then you just hit Control-V once it's selected, and it'll paste within it. So for instance, if I do that for, let's say, the green one, and I wanted that shape and color to be at the top of the funnel, I hit Control-C on it, and then if I clicked just on that top part of the funnel and Control-V, it would change it accordingly. But I don't want that green one with that shape at the top. I want that downward pointing arrow to be at the very bottom. So now I've got the sales funnel to be in the format and colors that I want it to be in. I did that from the example sales funnel performance chart that I have above in step 5. I just inserted the different shapes into each stage, and the different colors were filled by applying a different bucket fill to each shape. And that's pretty much it. That's how you'd create your sales funnel performance chart within Excel from scratch. The only thing that you need as a starting point is the raw data of the stages and the number of opportunities within each stage. And then again, you just need to insert a space column between each of the two columns that already exist, the sales stages and the quantity, and again just make it equal to the difference between the top end of the funnel, the current stage of the funnel, and divide that by 2, and then just perform the rest of the steps that are outlined in this workbook thereafter to create your very own sales funnel performance chart. Hey guys, thanks for watching this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe from you. And if you want to learn more about Microsoft Excel, check out these videos above. And don't forget to check out our website, commercecurve.com, where we have lots of in-depth finance and accounting courses available with full training workbooks. All of our courses come with complete workbooks of lessons, examples, pre-built financial models, and training video. Hope to see you there.